Hello everyone. This is Geetha Pradeep. I'm from Cochin and I am a content strategist and writer now. I come with more than 18 years of experience. I was into IT training, software development. Then I took a break and I got back into a career with freelance writing. So I've been a freelance writer for around 6+ years, and then I moved on to a full-time position. So here I am, all set to share some of my experience in freelancing and content writing, and um, more on busting some of the freelance myths. Because I get a lot of people asking me, "How do you do it?" I've been into this freelancing for more than 6 years, and it's been a very good experience for me so far. So I'm here all waiting for the questions. All right. So how can a fresher start a freelancing career? Can I start freelancing soon after my studies, or would I need prior experience? So that's Hamida's question. So let me answer you. And she adds, in what fields of work freelancing is good and has scope? Okay. And what are the legal formalities to be a freelancer? Okay. Good set of questions. All right. So I'll go one by one. Okay. How can a fresher start a freelancing career? Can I start? Yeah. See, freelancing, you need to first decide on what you want to do in freelancing, like which field you want to focus on. And, there are a lot of things you can work on as a freelancer, right? So I started off as a freelance writer. So I did it after a break of more than say 3 years, and after I was the last time I worked in a company was in 2004. Yeah, 2004-5. That's when I quit my job because when I had my kid. So after that, I started freelancing around 2010, 2011. Yeah, around that time. So I did that on and off. So, and I got into writing where I had no experience as a writer. So as a fresher, straight out of college, definitely you can go about it. It's it's how you carry yourself in whatever position you're applying for. Okay, so something like you are a fresher, you have a lot of fresh ideas with you. So you have to highlight those, and whatever create a good profile to start off with freelancing. You need to create a very good profile. It can be, you have to be there on LinkedIn, of course, and your resume, it has to be always updated and very crisp. You have to always highlight whatever your pluses are. So, with a very good profile with you on LinkedIn and on various other freelancing websites, definitely, even as a fresher, you can go about freelancing. The major challenge there would be how to land a good gig, freelancing gig. So there, what I did was I used to offer free samples because I was a writer. I used to offer free samples. So that way, small samples, because that helped me understand what the client needed, and it was all my experience. Like it all added to my experience. So for me, giving free samples worked initially. Or else you can also charge a very nominal fee for freelancing gigs. In case you don't want to work for free, you can always do that. Plus, as a writer, if you're planning to go as a writer, you can always have a blog ready. Like you can keep sharing your thoughts on your blog and use it as a profile. You can use it as a showcase profile there. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, first question, Hamida. And in what fields of work freelancing is good? See, right now, I think freelancing has opened up into a lot of areas. Like I see teachers freelancing, trainers freelancing. Mm, in my field, I'm into digital marketing and media field. So a lot of people are freelancing there also. I think even in software field, people are freelancing. Freelancing is quite popular now because see there are a lot of things that need a lot of expertise, which is not readily available for many people. If you check sites like Upwork, Fiverr, and all, even on LinkedIn, there'll be a lot of one-time projects for which people need someone to quickly work on those. They don't want a long-term commitment, which works well for the freelancers. Because freelancers look for short-time projects, so that works really well. Even I've been freelancing for a few clients for years now. That also works fine. But in case you are looking for small projects, short-term projects, that for those freelancing is a very good option. Okay, so I don't think there's any limitation in the fields of work. Freelancing is good. Okay. And what are the legal formalities to be a freelancer? Now, that's a little tricky because what I understand is that, see, it all depends on what you're freelancing for. From what I understand, freelancing requires you to take a service license. Okay. If you are making a payment or getting a payment outside your state, that's the best to my understanding. So in case you are in a particular state and work for some other for a company that pays you from another state, then you have to take a license for that, probably a service license, like a GST license for that. So I mean, you'll have to really get into details on what you plan to freelance on to give you more details on that. Okay, probably we can connect one to one to discuss more on that. All right. So I hope, Hamida, that answers your questions. Yeah, Divya has a question. How do I pitch my interest in freelancing while talking to people or in my resume? Okay. See, I'll tell you what I did. So even before I thought I can work as a freelancer, I just connected with a few of my ex-colleagues. I've always been very active on social media, and that was a time when WhatsApp was new and WhatsApp groups were forming. So we had this ex-colleagues group wherein my first job was with them. So that was way back in 98. I joined my first job in 98, 99, around that time. And we had this group wherein one of them, wherein we were just catching up with each other. So I was just, I casually posted there that I've gotten to writing and I look forward to hearing from you people. Just casually, I just posted that, and immediately I got a response that one of them was looking for a freelance writer, and he gave me the details. So that was the very first freelance project I worked on, apart from a few gigs that I had done earlier. Like I had found someone in a forum long back. So I was working with that lady for a couple of years on and off, and I was not very serious about those works because I was just learning. The payment was very little, but I was learning a lot. I found it very interesting. That's when I made up my mind that when I come back to work, it will be most probably on content only. So that landed me in my first project, and then onwards, I've never even got free time. to be very frank, because that connected me to a particular, like I was asked to join Upwork, and I started exploring Upwork. I started pitching for opportunities posted there, and one after the other I kept getting offers. Then I was very active on LinkedIn also, so there also on my profile I had mentioned that I'm a freelance writer, and I used to get a lot of inquiries for freelancing from there also. So after one point I stopped using Upwork, because I never had enough time to really pitch or work on the works that I was getting this side. So yeah, that's one thing. And on your resume, yes, if you intend to be a freelancer for a longer term, yes, you can also mention on your resume. Or when you are sending your resume somewhere, you can probably mention it in your covering letter that you would like to work as a freelancer. So yeah, that's how I've gone about it. I hope that answers your question, Divya. Okay, Bhanumati Ganesh has a question. So, I've been a freelance writer for some time now, mainly in analytical writing. Lately, the compensation seems to be lower than what it used to be. The argument is that there are freshers who are willing to do the job at very low rates. Yeah. As an experienced writer, how does one deal with this? So, Bhanumati, I can very well relate to what you're mentioning here, because I myself am a writer and I've gone through this earlier. So, what I would suggest is, see, experience is very precious. It's, you cannot put a price on experience. You seriously cannot. So what you have to do is, there may be people, there may be freshers, who, some of whom may be good, because as I mentioned first, when I started off, I knew I could write, but then I wanted projects. I wanted to better my profile, to expand the kind of writings I used to do. For that, I used to offer work for much lesser rates, because my prime objective was to uh, improve myself. So it worked perfectly for me. The rates were much lower earlier, but then when I realized, okay, this is working out. People are happy with it because they were coming back to me with more projects. So as the number of projects increased, or as the association started lasting longer, I used to uh, tell them that, okay, so far it's been good, seems like you are okay with my work, you're happy with my work, so now onwards this will be my charges. And I really insisted on that. It worked for me. Okay, and I believe if you are good at your work, you should insist on your charges. And at what cost? Yes, that is always there. There are people who can work for much lesser. Even I find opportunities posted on social media saying 10 paisa per word and stuff like that. And there are a lot of people, like I find at least 20 to 30 people responding positively on that also. Yes, it works fine for them, because they may be looking for exploring different kind of projects. So it might work for them, but then if your work is good, if your quality of writing is good, please insist on your rates and try to network better. So probably your clients are not yet on your network list, and explore the kind of gigs available on these freelancing websites. As a writer, I'm very sure that people are willing to pay well, because people understand that content is very important these days, and that's why they are willing to pay well for quality content. So it makes a like it definitely works in this field, because I am into that. So yeah, Bhanumati, I would suggest you insist, you you have to make them understand your worth as an experienced person, and show the difference, how well less experienced person would write, and how you are different from the others, and what how it adds value to the organization that you're working for, or the client that you're working with. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Banpati. Shruti is asking, hi Geetha, for women who have taken a break from IT, are there freelance opportunities in technology like QA development or any other? Of course, Shruti. So as I mentioned earlier, I was a project lead with a very leading ERP developer in Cochin. Okay, so let me also add that I belong to Cochin. I've been working here since I mean I've born and brought up here. So if I'm able to find opportunities, freelance opportunities in Cochin, just imagine the kind of opportunities that is available in Bangalore, Bombay, Pune, and other metro cities. So I think there's a lot to do on how you go about it. You have to go all out when you're freelancing and you're seriously looking for work. You have to go all about it. So yeah. So coming back to your question, Shruti. So I was into IT. So at that time, 10 years back, when I was looking for a freelance projects, that time IT was not ready for freelancing. Okay, even though back in 2000 I've done a freelance project, a software project, while I was in Bangalore for a while. So that also didn't go well, but then it was a very good experience for me. So nowadays I find a lot of opportunities being posted for developers and testing also, because even I've shared in the WhatsApp groups, even I've shared a lot of opportunities for freelance developers, web developers, and even software developers, app developers. A lot of things are happening because see, most of the companies, or say smaller companies or maybe startups, they are always looking out for people who can work on short-term projects. So in that place, we freelancer are the perfect fit, because they don't have to go for long-term commitments. So we definitely have a space there. QA development, and a lot more. See, if I think just a Google search on freelance opportunities will give you a lot of ideas on what all people freelance on. So I recently had a talk with one of the jobs for her ambassadors, and she comes with a lot of experience, say 10 years experience plus a lot of break also, like 10 years break or something like that. So she was asking me, how do I go about it? So my simple answer was Google. We always have Google with us. So let's spend some time on Google and find out what all opportunities are there for freelancing. If you create a profile on Fiverr and Upwork, these are two websites. I mean, these are two places where I see a lot of opportunities, freelance opportunities, good ones being posted. So I've only used Upwork and it has really worked well for me. Fiverr, I just joined, but then I never had the time to even update my profile there. So plus LinkedIn, use your LinkedIn wisely, network a lot, and I'm sure a lot of opportunities come to me that way. So in fact, where I work right now, I got this opportunity through LinkedIn. Whatever opportunities I'm like I can recall right now have come to me through Facebook and LinkedIn only. Uh, Someone posted some requirement on a social media group, on a very casual group, and I responded to that, and I got a very good opportunity through that. So it all depends on how well you network. So use your social media wisely, and I'm sure you will land very good projects. Shruti, I hope that answers your question. Meenakshi, okay. I was working as an HR earlier and took a break due to family reasons. Are there any freelance opportunities available for HR and how is the remuneration? All right. So, Meenakshi, I won't say I'm very familiar with the remuneration part, but then for HR, definitely I see a lot of opportunities posted on the ambassador group and even on LinkedIn, it's available. I think, see, we have to spend some time wisely using LinkedIn. I don't know how many of you have good LinkedIn profiles. I seriously suggest you all have a very good, crisp, updated LinkedIn profile and mention in your profile that you are open to freelance opportunities. I'm very sure it will help you land some good network connections and also some opportunities. Freelance opportunities, yes, are definitely available. You have to Google, you have to say try out these two websites that I mentioned, Fiverr and mm, Upwork. I see a lot of things posted there. I'm sure for every area of work, I believe there are freelancing websites exclusively offering opportunities there. Like, for example, I have seen a translator, a website, a couple of websites, in fact, offering only translator jobs because I just searched them online when I had some free time a couple of years back, and I just searched and it was there, like only for translation. They don't get into any other area. Only on they just work only on translation opportunities. So like that, I'm sure there are websites offering only HR opportunities also. So please Google them, and I'm sure you'll find such websites. Please do check Fiverr also because I see a lot of opportunities being posted on Fiverr and on LinkedIn. Okay, then Sheetal asks, I'm a fresher looking for flexible work. Does freelance work and work from home mean the same? All right, so this is a little tricky. For me, it is it is been the same. Okay, freelance work and work from home. Technically speaking, a freelancer is not connected permanently or on a long term with any organization. That's what a freelancer is. He or she may work from home or from the office. That depends. But the only thing is they are not on rolls. Okay. So freelancer work with clients, not employers as such. So that is how it goes. But for me, it has been I was a freelancer and I used to work from home only till a few years back. So there are certain jobs wherein you can afford to work from home being a freelancer, but then there are certain jobs wherein you have to like work from the office or uh, the client site or whatever, depending on the kind of work you're doing. Okay. So these are actually two different things, but in certain cases it can be the same. Okay. Do we have more? All right, we have more. Deepika, yeah, Deepika asks, I'm currently working as a freelancer. Please suggest what can I do to build my personal branding or get some good opportunities. Nice. Deepika, that's a very good question. Personal branding is a very important thing if you want to flourish as a freelancer. You have to build your profile, be everywhere where it matters, and network with people, a lot of people who can really help you out, and also reach out to people whom you can help out. That makes a big difference. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, if you want to get more freelancing opportunities, Upwork and Fiverr are two platforms wherein you can get a lot of opportunities. You have to keep your profile updated and make sure you ask for testimonials from your clients as soon as your project gets over. If you delay asking for testimonials, they'll also forget it and they'll never give you a testimonial. Okay, that also helps a lot. As we suggest for brands like in digital marketing, we always suggest that every brand should get reviews done by their customers. Testimonials and reviews make a big difference to how people perceive the brand. Same way for personal branding, also make sure you get a lot of feedback from your clients. Post them on your profiles, use your LinkedIn wisely, network a lot, and do go for networking events because that's where you actually get to meet a lot of real people, and um, you gain a lot of experience talking to people, talking to other people. Even with freshers, you get a lot of ideas from them, like how they go about doing stuff. It makes a big difference. All right. And on personal branding, I think the best person to connect with is Nirja, our Google mentor. She's doing a lot about personal branding. You just check her profile, you'll see how well it works. Okay. Akshata Asana, IT professional, started with tech writing and also content writing. But getting a genuine client who pays reasonably is a challenge. How to get reliable and stable work? Akshita, that's been a challenge for freelancers. Okay, how to build a portfolio so that we get reliable clients to do freelance content writing. And I have no formal training in tech writing. Do we need to undergo any training? Any suggestions for good online resources course for training? Okay. Sorry, I'm distracted by a call. All right. Akshita, fine. Tech writing. So there are, I always say it this way. So there are two types of tech writing involved. See, one is where you write about technology. So that's what I've done. I've written a few articles on technology. So technology writing requires you to understand that technology and write it in a simple and decent way, which people can easily understand. That's one thing. Okay. Now, tech writing can also be writing tech documents like help documents, user manuals, HR policy, user guidelines, and stuff like that. So, I'm not very clear on what you're asking, but then these are two different things. For writing in technology, I don't think you need to go for any training or anything of that sort unless you are your intent is to improve your writing quality. Okay. But if you're talking about the other kind of tech writing, that is user guidelines and legal writing and stuff like that, yes, for those I believe there are certain tools being used, but that is different with different industries, I guess. You may have to fix what you're actually looking for, and based on that you can find some good courses online. I've not done any course as such, except that I took a course with Omkar, our jobs for her mentor Omkar, because see, at some point of my time I wanted to get into creative writing, which I had not done earlier. There I was finding it very difficult to understand what was being expected of me. So at that point, I took a very short course from him, which he had customized for me. I'm very thankful for him to um, do that for me, and it has really helped me a lot. Okay, so you have to probably find out what exactly you're looking for. You can, in fact, Google it and find it out. It's not a big deal. Or talk to some people. Probably we can connect one to one, and let me get a better idea of what you're looking for. Okay, so that's one thing. And do we need to undergo any training? Yeah, that's what I said. Online resource, yes. If you go to YouTube, there are a lot of courses available online. You can try it out. Technical writing again, if it's on technology, like writing on technology, what you need to do is understand those technologies better, and you need to read a lot for that. Mm, yeah, that's how you go about it. Bhuvana asks, I have an IT background and trying to get into writing while applying for content writing assignments. How do I make sure I stand out in a crowd? Bhuvana, that's a tricky question because there are so many freelance writers available right now. It's very difficult to stand out in a crowd. So what you need to do is make sure your profile sounds very interesting. So that way, uh, your first, what do you say, first impression itself will be really good. Okay, and keep reading more and keep writing more. So Akshata, I would also like to add on one thing. Okay, Akshata, Bhuvana, and all those writers. See, to improve your writing skills, the quality of writing, I seriously suggest using tools like Grammarly and Contently. There are a lot of tools available online, free tools in fact, which you can make sure that whatever piece of content you write, you pass them through these tools, multiple tools in fact, because different tools give you different results. Like for Grammarly, you get all the basic stuff, grammar stuff done using that, and there are more tools like which one? I'll mention them in a while. So there are more tools available, each of which takes you through a different kind of content checking. So quality checking, that is. So one of them is, um, yeah, I've actually mentioned them in one of my blogs. So I'll find it. I'll find them out and update it. I don't remember them right now. So I used to do this a lot because I used to make sure that each of my each piece of content that goes to my client goes through at least three tools for quality checking. Okay, all of them were free tools, and then I used to check for plagiarism in a different way. Okay, so these four checks are very critical, and as time goes, now you'll be tuned to check them on your own. Like if you say 2 years back, if my content had say 15 errors on Grammarly, now it might show hardly one or two, because I know, like I've been correcting my content for so long. I know that okay, these things won't pass through Grammarly, so I'll correct it myself. So same way, there are different tools for different checking different aspects of your content. So that way also it looks good. Plus, take feedback from your clients. That seriously helps you out, because I make sure I take a lot of feedback from my clients. Even I listen a lot, so that there may be certain terms they generally use. See, when you're ghostwriting, it really helps. When you're writing for someone else who will be posting it as their say their content, it really helps to understand. It really helps to reflect, pass it on as their thoughts. So that way, that also helps. All right. So Bhuvana, I didn't complete it, right? So how do I make sure I stand out in a crowd? Point number one is make sure your profile is really good. Okay, that is one thing. And then uh, I'm not sure if you have a blog. If you do have, make sure you showcase a lot of varieties on your blog, because that is one place you can be whatever you are. You can showcase whatever skills you have. So there you can post all kinds of writings. So that's what I also did. Like, and if you check, I have a blog which I've not monetized, but then I do have a blog, and I just use it to showcase a lot of things that I want to share. So there nobody is restricting me. Nobody says this is not what I expected you to write. So it's my blog, and I can share whatever I want to share. Okay. So that is one way people get to get an idea of what you write apart from the the usual stuff that everyone does. Okay, so how feasible is digital marketing as a freelance career option? Sushma, I would say it is one of the best freelance options because I see a lot of freelancers working seriously on digital marketing projects. So definitely, it has got a very big scope in freelancing. Okay. Next one is Deepika. I'm a freelancer and write business plans and strategies for startups. Can you suggest some digital marketing ways to promote my work? All right. So, Deepika, I hope you have a blog, a page, a Facebook page, a website, something of that sort. Because what happens is uh, digital marketing works using social media a lot. Okay, plus SEO. I don't know if you know about SEO. You should because you're into the writing business. Maybe you know. So what you need to do is whatever strategy you create for your clients, probably you have to create for yourself as a client. Like consider your a business or your career as a client, and you have to develop a strategy and work on it. So have be available on social media because that makes a big difference in whatever we do now. Prativa asks, I registered for different freelance sites but didn't get a call after sending proposals. How to showcase a proposal to a client? Okay, okay, right. Okay, so let me answer your question, Prativa. I hope you send a customized proposal to each of your client because that makes a big difference. Mm, see, what I used to do was uh, I always had on Upwork when I used to apply for freelance gigs on Upwork. I used to have a set of a full set of profile to share with the clients. But then for every client, when I respond, I used to customize that set and make sure that only what is relevant to that particular project or client goes out from my side. Okay, that makes things easier for them to understand. Plus, uh, why unnecessarily share things that does not make sense to them. So make sure you send out customized profiles, proposals to the client, and also you can also mention how it will add value to them. That way, probably they can connect it easier. Okay, and I also hope you have a updated profile on those websites, freelance sites, because that also makes a big difference. And make sure you apply a lot because in the initial stages, I used to sit down every day, take an hour or two to sit down and apply for different gigs because I used to send out customized messages for each client. For each proposal, it used to be uh, what do you say, kind of a handwritten kind of stuff, because for each client I used to sit down and understand what their requirement was, and I used to send out a reply stating my experiences relevant to that and how it will help them, like how my experience will help their project that way. Okay, now Divya says, can you give any tips to stay connected to market trends for women who are freelancers or are working from home? Very good, Divya. See, you have to be on social media these days. Use it wisely. Okay, I know people are staring at me saying, oh no, again social media. See, social media can be used in different ways. So I use LinkedIn a lot. I use Twitter a lot. Even though I don't get time to tweet or publish articles, I do follow a lot of people, their writings. I do read them. I take time to sit down and read their people's articles whom I follow. And see, you have to, if you want your presence to be felt on social media sites, in a relevant way to your profession, you have to be active there and also share your thoughts there. Okay, so on LinkedIn and Twitter, one way to be seen is to respond to what other people publish. You have to publish your own things. That's a different thing. But if you don't have time, or you're not a writer as such, then you can always take time to read other people's articles, and if that interests you or have invoked some thought process in you, you can always comment stating that, like some personal note. It shouldn't be like very good or I like it and that kind of comments. They don't help you at all. Not the person who has posted it also. But then comment with a personal note saying, I could connect with this particular point because I've experienced it this way. Stuff like that. Okay. So that is one way you can be seen on LinkedIn. Okay. So plus any tips connected, any tips to stay connected is to, as I just said, use the social media wisely, and also read a lot, because there's a lot happening every day, and mm, you have to find out a few websites that publish regularly on your areas of interest, professionally and personally, and take some time out every day to sit down and read through them. Okay, that also helps a lot. Offline reading, yes, definitely helps, but it may not be as updated because it takes a lot of time to for people to sit down, write, edit it, and publish it. It's a long process. So what you see online will be more current, more updated. So please do find out few people from the industry that you are interested in, and follow them on social media to keep updated on what they have to say. Plus, uh, find out a few websites that publish good content, like reliable content, quality stuff on things that you are interested in. So that way, keep aside some time every day for reading all those. So plus networking, like attend workshops, attend webinars, attend the meetups often. All these help, because just make sure that those are relevant to your interests, because otherwise you'll get bored. So go behind it. That's the only way out. Yeah. So I guess that's that ends the. Yeah. So I guess the questions are all done, and yeah. You have any more doubts? Feel free to connect with me anytime. Uh, I am available in the ambassadors group. So yeah, wish you all the best, guys, ladies.